In this video, we will be creating different types of charts. Before creating a chart, we should know which chart to select for which type of data. And someone has done a great job by creating this chart chooser, which you can download from the link, and the link is also given in the description. This is the chart chooser, and here we have different options you can see here. If you are trying to compare data, you can go for these type of charts. If you have relationships between data, you can go for these charts. If it's about distribution or composition, you have different charts. But one thing to remember here, choosing a chart completely depends on the data and the type of outcomes required. So any specific chart cannot be forced for any data or outcome. One can choose any type of chart for any type of information he wants to display. For our case, we have this data here where we have day, temperature and humidity. So we are doing a comparison between these data. So we will select from here. Then the second option is that the data changes over time. So our data here also changes with the day or date. And thirdly, we have single or few items. We don't have a lot of categories or items. So this is the best option for us at the moment, the column chart. So we will come here. Now we have the data. To create the chart, we need to click insert. Under insert, you can see it gives you the option of charts, group, and we can click this or any of these ones to create the chart. But if we click this now, you can see here it's giving us a warning or error because we have not selected any data from here. So now we will select day and let's say the average temperature. So we have two categories or two columns selected. We go to insert, recommended charts, all charts, and we select the first one, which is the column chart, clustered column, and we click OK. So here our chart is, we have days on the x-axis and the temperature on the y-axis. Now remember one thing, that this scale is selected automatically, and this scale will be between the minimum and the maximum value. So if you look at temperature, we can see that the maximum value is 23 and our scale is up to 25. So all the values are included here. So this is our first chart for day and average temperature. And here we just have one category to display. Now we will select day and let's say we select minimum, maximum and minimum. So this is our second chart here. You can see here the blue color is maximum temperature while the orange color is minimum temperature. Now both of them are displayed at the same area, that is for the same day. So we can have more than one category displayed for one column. Now we'll try to create one more. Let's say we have maximum, minimum and the humidity. So now you can see we have three different values for the same day, and the legend here gives you the which color is for what. So this is how you can create column charts. It can be for single category or it can be for multiple category. But if the chart keeps on increasing like this, it becomes very difficult to understand or read the chart. So we need to try to have as minimum categories as possible. And one more thing you can see here, that here we have the values which the y-axis scale is from 0 to 90. Now the reason is that we have selected these values: day, maximum, minimum, and the humidity. Now if you look here carefully, you will see in these three columns the minimum is, we started from 0, right? Because here the minimum is what, 10 we have here, while the maximum value that we see here is 77. So our scale goes up to 90. Now let's say let's increase this one to 90. You can see our scale changed, and now we have the maximum as 100. So it's always 10 or 20 or 15 more than the maximum value that we have here. Now we will see how to format our chart. First thing, you can resize your chart like this. Now you can see in this chart we cannot see the name of the days or the temperature and humidity on the y-axis. So the first area from where you can change these basic details about the chart is from the design tab, and by using the add chart element. Here you can see we have some different options, so we will go through some of them now. Axis, you can see when I come here it shows me the name of the days, and when I click here it shows me the temperatures on the y-axis. So I will click this, so now I can see the days here. Then I can come back and click this one, I can see the temperatures also. Second part, the titles. We don't have any title on the x-axis and we don't have any title on the y-axis, so we can click this and have a title on the x-axis, and we can have a title on the y-axis also. Then we can have chart title. If we say none, you can see the title disappears above the chart or center. Center means it's on top of the chart in fact. So this one is a better option. So we can have the title here. Now we can see that these are visible, but still it's not easy to know the exact temperature or humidity for these columns. So we will come back here again, and the next option we have is the data labels. At the moment it is none. So if I come here, you can see it gives me different options. So I'm going to choose this one, outside and. So it gives me here. You can see it shows the exact values. Okay, now let's see, we can do some formatting of these columns also. So you can come here and right click, format data, series. Now here you have some options that you can increase or decrease these spaces, gap, width. You can see the gap between these columns is decreasing, so we can leave it like that. Okay. Okay, we can have a look at some other options also. Data labels, here with this one we have done it. We have the option of legend also, on which side we would like to have this legend placed. So let's say on the right side. Here we have the legend placed. Okay, now we can do some other things also, that is simple formatting of the text. Now if I click this one of it, you can see all of them are selected together. So I can format this text also. So like this we can have different formats of our chart. Now there are more options to format this chart. We are inside the chart, we can come and click the design option here. Now if you look here, you have these chart styles. So I can choose any of this style for my chart. Let's choose this one. Now even after selecting this one, you still have some more options to format the chart. Let's say this one. Then you can click format, and here once again you have still some more options to have your chart look better. So this is how you can create your column chart and format the chart. Now we will see how to format the grid lines of our chart. Now this is our chart. We do have the grid lines, the horizontal one, but they are not very clear. So we need to have these lines much more clearer than what we see at the moment. Let's see how we can format these grid lines. First we will just try to change the size of this. Now as you know that all the options for the formatting are here under the design tab. Here we have grid lines. We can see this one is selected. So if we click this, we will see there are no grid lines. So first we select that one, then we select this one. So now we have the horizontal and vertical grid lines. What we can do, right click and format chart area. Once you do that, you will see this panel here. From here we can do the selection of all the elements in our chart. So first we are going to select the horizontal category axis measure grid lines. Now here, this is the option that you have here, fill and line. So we will select the solid line. You can see here the moment we select solid line, we see our horizontal lines very clear, which is in black color. We can do the changes from here. Let's say we select red. Second thing we can do here is to set the width of our line. So we will set it to, let's say 1. You can set other options here, but we will leave it up to this point. So this is our horizontal line. Now we will select the vertical axis measure grid lines. Same option here, fill and line, solid line. You can see we have the line very clear now. Let's make it blue and we can increase the width of it. So this is how you can set the grid lines of your chart. Sometimes you need to add more data, more columns, or you need to remove a column from the chart. So let's see how we will do this. You can select the chart here. Now let's say for instance we want to remove one of these columns, that is one of this category in fact. So let's say we can remove the average temperature from here. You click the chart, you come to the design tab and here you have the option of select data. You click this. Now you can see here it shows you all the three categories that you have. Now for instance we don't want the average temperature here, so you just need to select this and click the remove button and you click OK. Now you can see that we don't have the average temperature. Okay, in another case maybe you want to add one more column to it. Let's say we want to add the humidity column or humidity data to this chart. So you can again come back here to select data and here you have the option of add. We click this. The first option here, it is asking you the series name. You can type in the name or you can just click this and then series values. Now you can come and select all the values here and click OK and OK. So now you can see we have the third value, humidity, here also. So this is how you can add or remove data from your chart. Now we will see how to create the bar chart. Now we can have the column chart also, but one reason to select the bar chart can be that the names of your categories are very long. So if we had created this one using the column chart, it would look something like this. You can see here the names are not properly displayed. So to display the names properly, we will try to use the bar chart. We will select the data, click insert and all charts, bar chart and the clustered bar. Now you can see here all the names are displayed properly. We can do some formatting to this. We can increase the size of these bars or reduce the gap that is here. We can display the exact values for these also. Okay, before displaying the values, we should display the axis titles also. we can increase the size of these. And now we can display the data labels. So this is our bar chart. You can do some other formatting if you wish. We will be using a pie chart to show this data, and we can use the pie chart when we are comparing values against some total, which can be a share of something or it can be a percentage out of 100. Now just let us have a look at our chart chooser and see here. Okay, now we have composition. Here we are looking at the population. So if we have a look at this chart here, it talks about composition. If it is static, in our case it's not static, the population is changing, but for this particular graph it's static. And here we have simple share of total. So if this is the case, we will be using a pie chart. So here is our data. We will select this, insert all charts and a pie chart. Now you can see here it gives us this as a very big part of the total. You can see here it shows Asia. Now we will just format this pie chart so that things are more clearer for us. Okay, now you can see we have done some formatting here. Now if we add all these percentage, we will get 100%. So this part is 59 of the total. So this is how we can create a pie chart. Now we will see how to create the line chart. Here we have our data, which is year and sale. So we will select the data, click insert tab, from recommended charts, click all charts and select the line chart. Now from here we can do any selection. Let's say we select this one, line with marker, then we will select this one. Now here we have our line chart. Now you can see it's based on the sale and year on the x-axis. Now we will try to format our chart. We have the axis title here. This one can be year, while this one can be sale. We can have the data labels also. You can make it above. We can do some more formatting to it. So this is how you can create the line chart. Line chart is usually based on data where you have a lot of values in one of the categories. We can have years on one column and sale on the other one. And we will have a look at our chart chooser, and here you can see we have comparison. We are trying to compare the values which are changing over time, that is year, and which do have many periods there. That is, our chart goes from, you can see 2001 till 2021. And then here we have non-cyclic data. So for that we are going to choose the line chart. Now we would look at scatter charts. Scatter charts are good for relationships and distributions, which you can see here. If you have data where you want to look at the relationship between two different variables, we can use scatter charts. Or if it's a distribution between two variables, we can still use a scatter chart. Now let us see how we will create the scatter chart. Here we have two variables, x and y. These are just dummy variables, and these are randomly generated variables. You can see they are changing. We will select the complete data. You can click insert, recommended charts, all charts, and scatter charts. We will use this one. You can see this is our scatter chart. Scatter charts are good for showing relationship between two different variables where one correlates to another, or it might not correlate. Scatter charts can also show the data distribution or clustering trends and can help you spot anomalies in that data. And another example of a scatter chart can be showing marketing spending versus revenue. Now we can format this chart. So this is how you can create a scatter chart. We will look at one more example for scatter chart. Here we have the values age and height. You will select the data, insert all charts, scatter, and we are going to select this one. Now you can see that the chart shows you values just in this area. Now this is not what we want. We want these points to be scattered all over the chart. So how can we do that? To do this, we have to change the scale here, which goes from 0 to 25. While you can see here that the data is between 15 and 20 or less than 15 most probably. So we need to have this scale from 15 to, let's say, 20 or 22 or something like that. So how can we do that? You can right click on the x-axis values and select format axis. Once you do that, you can see here it shows you the bounds minimum and maximum, which is from 0 to 25, that is from here to here, but we don't want that. We will try to do it from, let's say, 14.5 to 20.5. It has gone automatically. So now you can see your chart is more scattered. So this is one way to change your values on the x-axis. Similarly, we can do it for the y-axis also. It goes from 4.8 to 6.2, which is okay, but let's see, we will try to change this one. Let's say 4.9, and it is up to 6.1. Okay, second thing, we can see here there are a lot of values between 4.5 and 15.5. So we need to have more values here between 14.5 and 15.5 and so on. So what we will do for that, you can right click and format axis once again. Now you can see here it says units, major and minor. So we will try to, instead of 1, this is a difference of 1 is here. So let's say we make it difference of 0.5. Now you can see it says 14.5, 15, 15.5 and like that, and we can still reduce this one, let's say 0.2. So now you can see we have more values, so it would be easier to see where our data is placed. Similarly, we can do it for this one also, for the y-axis. Okay, yeah, it's already 4.9, 5.1, difference of 2. Let's say we make it difference of 1. Now you can see 4.9, 5 and 5.1. Okay, now the other thing are the grid lines that we have here. We want to increase or change these grid lines, or we want to display them more clearly. Now at the moment they are perfectly aligned here. So we just click the chart, design, and we can come here and see it says primary, major horizontal and major vertical. Let us remove those ones first. Now we will come and select the vertical. They are not visible. Now you can come to this area and select the axis minor grid lines. We will select solid line and then we can see, let's say this one. Now you can see that it shows you more detail. Now similarly we can come back here and select the vertical axis, again solid lines. Now you can see it shows the complete graph or all the grid lines. So you can pinpoint the value. You can see here it is easier to pinpoint your data on the basis of these values. We can add some more detail to our chart. So this is our chart with more formatting options. If you want to change the size of these dots, you can do it like this. You can right click any of these dot, format data series. Now once you click this fill and line, you will see an option here which says marker. You can click that one and then here you have the option of automatic, none or built-in. Let's say we say built-in. Now here we have option of different shapes of these dots. Like we will again select the circle and then here you have the option of increasing the size of these dots. Here you have the option of having a different color. And here this one gives you the option of vary colors by point. So you have different colors. Let's see if we can change the size of these. Now you can see we have bigger size points or dots with different colors also, and you have some more options here. You can try these also. Now we will look at the bubble chart. Let's say we have this chart here. Now here we have two different categories, age and height, but let's say we want to add one more weight to it. For that we have bubble chart, which gives you the option of putting that third category into the size of this dot or circle. So let's see how we can do that. Here we have three different categories, age, height and weight. We will select all these, insert, recommended charts, all charts, scatter chart, and here we have the option of bubble chart. Now this is our bubble chart, so we will select this one and we can say OK. Okay, once again we look at this, you will see that the values are all in one area. All this is empty, so we need to change the values on the x-axis or the range on the x-axis. We can make this minimum as 14.5. Now you can see, and it goes up to 21. Let's say we make it 20.5. So all the values are visible and they are more scattered. Okay, now if we want to change the size of these bubbles, We can do that by right clicking, format, data, point, and here you can see it shows you area of bubble or width of bubble. So here is the size that we have. Let's say we make it 50. Okay, first we will display the titles. This one is the age. This is our height. So the radius of the circle is actually our weight. Now here, instead of area of bubble, we can make it width of bubble. Now if you come to this fill and line, you can see here you have the option of coloring these bubbles, which can be a solid color, you can have a different color, or it can be a gradient, and this is the one that you should look at, vary colors by point. Now you can see we have all these circles of different points. Once again, here we have this axis values, the range is very high, the distance between 14.5 15.5, we can reduce this. Right click, format axis, and here we have the option of, let's say under units, we make this one as 0.5. so you have a smaller difference between the values. If you want to display the values of these circles or weight, we can do that also. Data labels, we can make it center. And again, once again, you have option from here, like we can select this one. So here now it shows which one is on top and which is on bottom. At least you can see almost all of them. So you can have some formatting like this for your bubble chart. Now we will look at the histogram chart. Histogram is a common variation of column charts used to present distribution and relationships of a single variable over a set of categories. A good example of histogram can be the distribution of grades in an exam. Here we have this data. These are the marks. Now these are original marks, real marks of 113 students. So we will see how to create a histogram from this data. We can select the marks only. You can go to insert, recommended charts, all charts, and histogram. So we select this option. This is our histogram. Now if you look at this carefully, you will see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 there are 7 columns here. Now you can look at this division. This is automatically divided by Excel, that is the frequency of marks between 5 and 8.5, which is 3. Like here we can see the frequency of marks between 12 and 15.5 is 6, and then here we have 10, 28, 42, like that. Now this can be changed. Suppose we don't want this ranges, we need to change this range. So how we will do that? You can come here, right click and format axis. Now when you look here, it gives you some different options of bins. This is the bin actually. These columns that you see are bins. We can have the bin width 3.5 at the moment. I think we can change this one to 5. Now you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them here. Now it starts from 5 and ends at 10. So the number of marks between 5 and 10 are 4. And similarly between 10 and 15, then 15, 20, 20, 25 and 25, 30. Second, we can have here number of bins also. Like it's 5 here, and again you have a different 5 from 5 to 9.8, 9.8 to 14.6. Let's say we make this one 6. Now the marks actually go from 0 to 30. So if we have a division of 5 only, we can have 6 bins. The last one here, it shows 29. It means the highest mark here is 29. Let us see if we can. We have the bin width as 5. So now it starts from 5 and goes up to 30. Okay, here we can see one thing, that we can make these ones as 5 bins, and now we see here that the maximum marks is 29, so it goes up to 29. Let us just change some of them to 30. Okay, now we have marks that are from 0 to 30. So now here we selected number of bins as 5. So the range automatically divides between 0 and 30, or it starts from 5 to 10, because I think there are no marks less than 5. So if there are marks less than 5, we will have range here that would go from 0 to 5 and then 5 to 10, like that. And again we will try this one. Bin width is 5, still we get the same thing. And if we see these points or decimals, you can come and change it from here. You have number, under number you have the general option. So you can have this one as number, and you can have 0 decimal places, so you get something like this. Okay, another thing, we don't have much space between these bars or these columns, so we can format. You can right click here, format data series, and here you can see it shows you gap width, so you can increase the gap like this, so they are visible much more clearly. And you can do some more formatting to it. We can display the titles, this one we can call marks range, while these one are the marks. We can display the values also. So you can see the frequency of marks between 5 and 10 is 4, between 10 and 15 is 8, and it goes on. If you want to do some more formatting, you can do it from here also. So this is how you can create a histogram. Now we will see how to find the frequency of numbers between given range and then create a line chart. So this is our data here. These are marks which should be between 0 and 30. We will have the range here and the frequency here. Now here we can write 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30. Now these range means when we write 5 here, it means that the frequency here would be shown for those that are between 0 and 5, while the one that would be shown here would be greater than 5 and less than 10, and then here greater than 10 and less than 15. It would go on like that. Okay, now how to write the frequency here? You need to select all these first. Don't forget to select this complete range from here up to here, and now you can press equal. You type in the formula. Here it says data array. Data array means these are the data, and then you can select the bins array here. You can close the bracket. Now you have to press Ctrl Shift and enter. So now you can see it gives you all of them. Now what we can do here is add all these. You can see here it says 113. So we have 113. It starts from second row. So we have 113 students marks here. So it means this calculation is correct. Now we have this data. We will try to create a chart out of this. You will select this, insert, we will come to the scatter chart and select smooth lines. We will select this one. You can see here it gives you a curve like a bell curve. The values on the x-axis is the range, while on the y-axis is the frequency. We will just format this chart to add the axis titles. This is the range, while this is the Now if we try to understand this graph, you can see here it gives you from 0 to 5 there is nothing here, so there are no students between 0 and 5, while between 5 and 10 we can see it gives us some values, then 10 and 15, 15, 20. Now you can see from 20 to 30 we have the highest number of students, which we can see from here. Now this graph only has points that are these, only 6 points here and 6 points here. So this is not a graph like the histogram where you can get all the points for these marks. So these are just limited to this area. This is our data for the graph. We can do a little more formatting to this chart by just adding the points here. Let's see. We'll come to the design, change chart type, and from here we can select this one, smooth lines and markers. So now you can see that we have the points also. So this is how you can create a chart using the frequency, or in fact this is how you can find the frequency of different values or different range within a data, and on the basis of this small information or data that you have here, values, you can create a chart. This chart can be anything. It can be a line chart or it can be some other type of chart.